let me just read a part of Thomas's biography. Thomas Simon is an award-winning composer, musician, producer, director, DP, editor, and sound designer. During the last 2 years, Thomas Simon toured repeatedly. Oh, is that your end? In USA, South America, and Europe. He created soundtrack to the feature film Exit Zero, starring Peter Greene and Federico Castelluccio. Another spelling challenge. The Sopranos released his latest short film, A Chance, and currently is collaborating with many great musicians. He's always doing projects, so we can talk about your projects later on.
Yes.
So yeah, so tell us just a little bit more about your upbringing. Where are you from?
I was born in Vienna, Austria, and grew up there. My mom Austrian, Czech, Jewish. My dad Hungarian, so I'm Austro-Hungarian. That's how I identify by. And then I moved to the U.S. When I was 20, and now I'm American citizen. And but I'm growing up in Vienna. It was obviously it's a musical town, and all my siblings, I have 4 other siblings, and we all learned the instrument and whatnot, and it instilled the whole being like a musical edge into me. But I think my musical side is actually more Hungarian, because I'm drawn to more melancholic, dark sounds, and I never really, even though I was born in Austria, I never really felt Austrian. I knew at a pretty young age that I wanted to leave and see the world. And I knew about 11, 12 years old that I'm going to leave. And it just took a while to figure out how the hell I'm going to manage. And then I came to New York and wanted to be a rock star, kind of thing. Started playing in bands, and then a few years later I met my wife, and we had a band, Love Alien, together for a while. We toured extensively in the late 90s, early 2000s, and then kind of like just by working incidentally, I needed to make money. So one of my survival jobs was working on movie sets as a production assistant, and I got into the sound team, or driving a truck, setting up gear, breaking down, whatnot. And then people heard my music, and then this one filmmaker used the song, and then I got commissioned. Like my first soundtrack commission was 2002 film Red Wine. I did partial soundtrack, all the dangerous murder scenes, that my music. Anyway, and then I kind of did it. It had got a life of its own, that doing soundtrack work. And the reason I do so many things is just by necessity, because I realized, after doing that first soundtrack job, I've met the editor of that film, and I had already in mind to do my own documentary, and I had already most of it shot. So he agreed to edit with me, and just by sitting there watching him, I learned how to edit on Final Cut. And then just by necessity, I learned how to record well, to mix, produce, because if I go to a studio and pay hundreds of dollars per day to record a song, I figure I'll just get the gear and learn it. And I think that's a message I want to relate to a lot of to the independent artists. You can't be good at everything, but you should have a basic knowledge about recording a sound well, filming, editing, because it saves you a lot of money in the back end. If you want, you want to do your projects, and all the money that you have, you want to spend on shooting it well on the production end. And then if you can do a lot of post-production yourself, you save a lot of money.
Yeah. it's also it's also, yeah, it's practically, you can save money, but also, for instance, I my background is I'm a musician, classical trained, and then I
Mhm.
started to, loving shooting, and then I have to edit, right? Like I'm not, I can't afford to have someone editing my work,
Yes.
but by knowing editing also, you know how to shoot because you think about how you're going to edit later on. Yeah,
Exactly.
so it's all connected. And
Yeah.
by understand music, it's kind of very handy, like, what makes sense, when is the time to use this music, or when is time to shut this music off.
But yes, and in addition to that, being a musician that also shoots and edit, editing is a very rhythmical affair. It has like the dynamic also, like the music quiet and loud. You
Yeah.
feel the rhythm of how the scene goes. If it's documentary, where to start, where to end, or when you shoot narrative, and
Mm.
and I find it came very natural to me to edit, and one of the other things that I learned how to do all these things from editing and sound design, that I got work that way. I mean, I got hired to be an editor or a sound designer or whatnot. So living in New York, you need to make a buck and have like 10 different jobs, to pay
Right,
rent.
right, right,
Anyway,
right.
so, and I enjoyed it very much. After working for years on film set, I didn't so much enjoy the work on set, except if it's my own, because there's a lot of stress and hierarchy going on. I prefer, like I said, I prefer to be in the post-production end, so be at home, work with the director, or work by myself. I actually enjoy that much better. And
Yeah.
now, uh, since we are all quarantined, more or less, the silver lining that I found is that I'm learning all this new software, and I'm working with producers abroad, and we have sessions. I play music actually. I just released a record with a Brazilian producer, João Milet Meirelles, from the band Baiana System. I have large relationship with Brazil. I've been going there a lot. I mean, you saw the video shot in the Amazon, and then for the last 10 years, I've been going every year, sometimes multiple times, playing shows. And then I collaborated with, there's an awesome experimental music scene, and we just released this record, Sonar Atmosfera.
Mm.
We can play a sound clip later. And I was gonna go. I recorded it down there, and I was gonna go tour. We released the record in April, and we were supposed to tour, but COVID happened, and now we're doing live sessions online. We're playing. He's in Salvador. I'm in New York,
Mm.
and we are plugging into Ableton, and then stream the video over Zoom, and it all comes together. We're streaming on twitch.tv/Sonar Atmosfera every Saturday afternoon. And we're playing experimental ambient music, and we are playing with the delay. I mean, there's a delay, there's latency,
Mm.
and we kind of, as musicians, we're tossing the timekeeping ball back and forth. Like he creates beats, and I keep it wide and ambient, and then he does modular electronic sounds,
Mm.
and then he makes washes, ambient sounds, and I can play a melody or like riffs,
Mm.
and it's really cool, and it's a way of working that I never would have thought of otherwise
Yeah.
if we wouldn't have been forced into this situation.
Yeah.
So it's always, obviously I prefer playing with musicians in the same
Yeah.
room,
Yeah.
but it adds to another musical horizon.
Right. Right. And do you mind, write down your link? You can write down the link at the comment area.
Oh,
Everyone can see. Like there's an area right here. Like, did you see?
oh,
Did you see that? Yeah. This. See, I just said hi. There's a comment on the right hand side. Private chat on the top. the very
private
top
chat,
called
yes.
comment. And you can write over here, and then you click chat, and then everyone can see it.
Oh.
Yeah. You said something about Twitch.
Yeah, I'm writing.
Yeah. So while you're writing, should we continue listening a little bit about that film? A little bit, or you want to show us something else?
Why don't you play from Sonar Atmosfera, the MP3 Resist?
Resist. Oh, okay.
Yeah, so people here, since we are talking about this project.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Let's see. Can you hear? Okay.
Yes. I'm trying to write this thing.
Is it good? We are listening to a MP3 soundtrack of Thomas's work called Resist. So,
I was trying to comment, but for some reason it doesn't let me. I'll send it to you in the private chat. Maybe you can grab it.
I did. I already did. I brought. I brought your private chat to here. Do you see it? To the comment, to the comment area.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, you see it? Okay, cool. Yeah. So, how do I describe your musical style?
Well, there is. It's not. There's a. Like I have 50 different personalities. You should ask my wife about it.
Yeah.
This is why I like to do soundtrack work. I mean, my personal style when I was starting out in rock, it's like alternative rock. Smashing Pumpkins would describe my rock style. And then when I started doing soundtrack work, I'm a big fan of Brian Eno soundscape, like long, slow sounds. And that's why I was also then attracted to going to Brazil, because there's very fast rhythms, incredibly. There you have 50 guys banging the drums, like it's incredible. And I combine that, with slow traveling sounds on top. And that's why I like to create music for film, because depending on the story, the character, the pace of the footage, it influences my music. And so I approach it always differently. Of course, then different directors say, like the last film with Exit Zero, he pointed me, he really loves John Cassavetes films. And I looked into a bunch of those films, and there was this really slow piano scape, long notes, very slow melodies on piano. And so I took some of that and then made it my own. So my music overall is alternative, dark, ambient, tribal.
All kind.
Something
A
like that.
little bit minimalist, I hear.
Yeah. That's because I'm really lazy. So I play one note every 5 minutes, and the show is done, man. And I'm out of there.
You're out of there. Wow, it's amazing. Amazing. So, so now tell me a little bit about this film you just released recently about it's called A Chance.
Yeah. It's a short film that I co-produced with Jillie. She originally came across the script that was like a short play. Jill was part of a actor writer group, and the writer of that short play cast her and another actor in the play as the couple, and ended up being two females. And the script it's very, very well written, but Jillie and the original writer turned it into a screenplay, like flashed it out a little bit, because it was just a 10-page play that was happening on a park bench of two ex-lovers meeting and talking about what happened and what went wrong. And we fleshed it out, and then she took it to me, and we should make a short film. And then it snowballed from that. We cast it, we found the locations, but Jillie is going to come later and can tell you more about it. But I shot it again. I utilized all the skills that I developed over the years, and I shot it. I edited it, did the sound design, did the music, and it was a bit difficult to shoot. Also, we were shooting at the river and the park, and it was loud and helicopters all around, and the noise was like, holy shit. But then it became a part of the sound design. I made even like little cues that the helicopter comes through, and all of a sudden I embraced noise, and that's really what I also want to convey as an artist. Like, use what's there, and don't try to hide, don't try to sterilize, clean up everything. Noise is beautiful. It has character. It gives dynamic. It gives angst to, or like whatever, it's its own force in storytelling. So I over the years in doing my production, I found to embrace noise and include it and like I said, I make little cues, sound cues with it, and musical pieces and whatnot.
Yeah. Indeed. The early last century, there's a famous American composer named John Cage. He loves noise. He loves sound. He loves the traffic sound. To hear all of these our music.
There was actually one of my, because of the music video you played in the beginning, Condo Jam. One of the reasons I finally went, I did 2 different film expeditions into the Amazon, because I wanted to record nature sounds. There's an awesome record by Brian Eno called On Land, where he incorporates, jungle sounds and all kinds of stuff. And I was very inspired by them. And so I went in the Amazon, I did a couple of tours, I found some guides that took me in, and I spent nights like sleeping in the hammock with the mosquito netting, recording. I mean, at night the forest comes alive. I mean, the noises and the monkeys and everything. I mean, it's Times Square is quiet, compared to like a jungle at night. So I made all these, and I put like these capuchin monkey. There's small monkeys, but they're really fierce sounding, and put it through crazy delays, and then I make all of these little pieces of music, and it's on my record Vortex. You can get that. It's on Spotify. also Sonar Atmosfera is on Spotify, and Amazon and all these platforms. And yeah, so Vortex has a lot of my excursions into the nature and my tweaking it and making my interpretation with it.
Yeah, wonderful. Should we play the trailer of Chance?
Yeah. And I invite Jillie in.
Huh?
Should we invite Jillie?
Maybe after we play?
Okay, yes.
Yeah. Yeah, okay. So let me stop this and then screen share. Go there. Where is the Chance? Go here. Oh, I'm so proud of myself. Okay, so let's do from beginning.
So how are you? I'm good. Things are going well.
That was short. Yeah, I can't wait to see it.
It's screened at, and it's screening again.
Laura testified yesterday at the House Judiciary
Hold on.
Committee,
Let me.
and there was something that really caught my attention. I don't know if you noticed it as well.
What?
There was one exchange
Hold on.
where Ching Juhl
I
asked
need
Louis
to-
Barr whether
Sorry. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So, shall we invite? You were gonna say something, Thomas? What? Sorry.
But what the dude should go is some Republican.
Sorry.
Get him out of here. Anyway, vote, please, everybody. Go vote, man.
Yeah.
It's one of the reasons why we're in this mess still. You know, I guess everybody's watching the news, but other countries are already opening up. We can go back to business as usual. No, anyway. But what I was going to say, it showed. Oh, Bright Side 10. Okay. Yeah, let's get Jillie in. She has the whole lowdown on the movie.
Let's welcome Jillie Simon. Let me make it the screen this way. Hi, Jillie. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm good. Thank you. So great to see you, and yeah, see both of you here. So let me introduce our guest, Jillie. Jillie is also incredibly talented. She is a multi-award winning actor, singer, songwriter, a producer, and a director who's played internationally on stage and screen. She wrote, co-directed, and played the lead role in her first narrative short film, Hungry, co-starred with Oscar nominee Eric Roberts. And the film won 18 awards, including eight for Best Actress, Best Performance. Yay! So wonderful. And it has been acquired for distribution by Indie Pix Films. Bravissimo. So, Jillie also is a singer, and so she, hopefully we'll hear some of her singing later on some of the clips. So, how are you?
I'm good. Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah.
Oh, you were asking about where to see A Chance next.
Yes.
It's going to be playing at the Bright Side Tavern film series. And that usually they have that in August. We played there with Hungry. But because of COVID, they're moving it to October, and they're not sure if it'll be live or online. So I'll be finding out in the next couple of months. But we'll be sharing that on our A Chance page on Facebook.
Okay.
And on our Hungry page too as well. We'll share it all over the place once we know.
Connect with us. We're on Instagram too. I am at Thomas Simon Vortex.
I'm at Jillie Simon. It's Simon. It's the same.
Simon is not Simone. I thought.
Well, it's Simon in English.
Simon.
Since I'm like in German, it's Simon, and in Hungarian, it's Shimon.
Oh.
Depending on where I am and what personality pops out at whatever.
Oh, okay. So I did not realize we can hear the video, and then if apparently our audience could not hear the video. Did you guys hear the first one? The first Thomas's music? Okay. So
I did.
Sure, you did but they say.
But maybe I just heard. I hear music in my head all the time, so voices. So I wouldn't be.
Since the chance is so short, can I replay it?
Yeah.
Okay, so let me see. Let me make sure I do the right thing. Okay, because sometimes there's like a tiny button here, and I miss. Okay, so where's chance? Oh, I lost. Oh, okay, I can't find it. Okay, never mind. Okay, let me play something. Just play something. Let's see. How about? Can we play Hungry?
Sure.
Hungry trailer?
Sure.
Okay, let's talk about afterwards. Okay.
Get everyone hungry for when it's going to come out.
Things are pretty sunny in Allison's world. She loves her job.
The people, by the people, and for the people.
She has a very happy marriage and loving family. Her only problem is her old childhood fear of speaking out in public.
Allison, why don't you leave the next grade team meeting? Oh, I'd really rather not. Is there someone?
So she doesn't. Things are not so sunny for some of her students.
We were just so hungry. Hey, what are you doing?
Calm down. You're not paid up.
And she's about to find out that if she really wants to make a difference,
what do you want me to do?
Something?
She's going to have to step up.
Your concerns are my concerns. And
Can she?
Oh my God, there's people.
Keep going, keep going. USA. You gonna pay or what?
Bravo. Nice. Okay, so I'm just clicking here, clicking there. All right, great. Bravo. I finally see it. I always wanted to see. Haven't got a chance, but thank you for letting me. So tell us a little bit about how, Jill, how you start to think about the subject, and were you in the situation, or is is some kind of a article influence you or situation influence you? How did you come up with the topic?
Exactly. That was it. The second one, the article. We were thinking of, well, Thomas was actually urging me to write something, because I'd only written songs before that. I'd made one attempt at something, but put it on the shelf. And he brought me an article, and then another article, a couple of little small articles about teachers who paid out of their pockets to bring up their students' lunch balances in a couple of schools around the country, maybe even 3, I don't know, well, at least 2, because the children were going hungry throughout the day because of the cuts to the SNAP program.
The government programs were cut to give the money to agriculture and oil companies, and the kids go hungry. And at schools, when the kids fall behind in the bill, they were left out. They can't get lunch.
So I thought that was a thing that I would like to shine a light on. That I would like to be another of the sparks of light trying to make a noise about this terrible problem that children going hungry here and all around the world. And I thought that the school teacher would be a good part for me to play as well. I made her someone who is kind of afraid to speak up to people in power, but because she cares about and loves the children, she has to get over herself and speak up. And she finds out a congressman is coming. Her congressman will be in town. So she determines that even though that scares her, she has to do it because it's that important, which is a good message for, now still, there's still so many problems, and the protests in the streets are a terrific thing because attention is being paid to important matters. So
and the thing is that she's confronting the congressman because he voted to cut the funds, and by her confrontation she initiates change, which is also a big message. We have to lean on our politicians to say, hey, call them up, hey, you should do this, do that, and then hopefully by popular demand they will, heed those demands. I mean, that's why we have to vote Democrat, because Republicans are incompetent, and Democrats are not perfect, obviously, but voting Republican never solves anything.
Right.
All these years that I've been living in this country, I'm sorry. And so you need to vote Democrat and then call them and say, do this, and environmental protection, unemployment benefits extended, free healthcare, free education. Don't get me started.
Well, because it's still going on right now. McConnell is preventing, a bill, the HEROES Act, from being allowed to pass, which will, let hungry children and hungry families and families across America who are struggling, which will help them. I mean, and they're refusing. Yeah. It's really insane. And it's become the party of the sociopathically greedy.
And the military doesn't need more money. Period.
That's
right.
Anyway, that's why we're happy that Hungary is being distributed now, and it's coming out hopefully before the election, because it makes really good points.
Yeah.
Of being activists and doing things that scare you. I mean, I want to connect with, my learning from doing my art and my work. I always really purposely went to do things that scare me the most, because that's how I learn the best and get things done. And also, do the things that scare you the most. Surround yourself with people that are way, way better than you, because it's going to up your game. You'll learn. And anyway.
Yeah. What a great project. Now, when you first started, did you envision yourselves, did you plan the whole thing already? Like, you're going to apply for so many festivals, and like how can you just walk us a little bit about, as an independent filmmaker, this is your first narrative film, and
Yeah.
I'm just amazed how you're able to get some stars on your crew, and then you win so many prizes. And was that a planned, or is just you kind of walk into it and just sort of happened?
Yeah, I think that I would say about the casting and all that. I mean, we had so many, like we had like everyone, we just had such super actors in it. And what I did was, for many of the roles, I cast people I knew, friends, actors who I had worked with, who I would start hearing when I thought of that person for the role, like the two roles of the teachers, my friends, Bettina Bilger and Melissa Murray-Much, who are just fabulous actresses. And I would start to hear their voices once I thought of them for the roles, as I'm writing the script. And then I thought for the congressman, I wanted to have somebody who was a known a person, and I put it out on the breakdowns, and Eric Roberts' people got in touch because they liked the sound of it. And Eric and his wife are both interested and care about children's issues. And he loved the script, and he came on board and wanted to help as much as he could. And and then we just sort of submitted it to the festivals that seemed like it would be right for, and the rest followed.
I mean, it was both. It was preconceived. We thought about it a lot, and then we just went, for spur of the moment. But what I want to point out is you have to have an idea when you release a film about how to promote it, and you need to save a budget for the festival circuit. You need it's crucial. It's almost as important as getting the money to make the film in the first place, and then also you need to be able also have the budget then to actually go and attend those festivals. I mean, just to have the film go and you don't show up, it's pointless.
Well, we didn't show up to every single one because we got into like 34 plus. I mean,
pretty much.
We went to as many
30.
as we could. Yeah,
We
I mean, there
went
was one in Milan that we didn't get to, a beautiful festival there, and a beautiful festival in Chicago. There were a few, Indonesia. We tried to get as many as possible.
But out of 33, we went to 30. I mean, we went to most of them.
And, that's nice.
Okay, yeah.
It can be expensive, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's we stay in cheap motels and
we have a lot of miles. Fortunately, we have a lot of miles.
Yeah, I mean, there's ways to do. I mean, we collect miles. I mean, we have a credit card where every time I go to the grocery, I get miles, and then I can use it towards travel. I mean, there are many ways to really figure out the whole travel but it's, for me, I mean, first of all, making the movies, we want to make good stories, but also it's a calling card as a producer, and then do all the production. I mean, it's a calling card for me as a composer, as an actor, and we go to the festivals, and all the jobs, the musician, as in composer jobs that I got over the years, I've gotten through making personal connection and then staying in touch with people. Emailing for jobs, submitting is one thing, but the personal connection you cannot do without. And anyway.
And I should give a shout out to our wonderful friend, Dr. Scott Katz, amazing chiropractor in LA, who let us stay at his place a few times. And he's in our music video, Legalize. So he helped us with when we were traveling the film circuit, because a lot of them are in LA. There's a lot of stuff in LA.
Yeah. Congratulations. That's a huge
you.
accomplishment. I met you for many years ago with at the socially relevant film festival.
Yes.
Yeah.
I I mean, I've been part since day one, since the first issue in 2014, because I had produced and edited a documentary called Lucky Express that follows homeless children in India on the trains, that they live in the trains and on the platforms. And a friend of mine that I met through like years ago from when I was out there for another documentary, and she came to me and so I ended up editing and producing and did some music on it, and we had it got distributed through what's it called? Cinema Libre Studios out in LA, and they brought it to Nora, and Nora showed it at the Quad Cinemas. It was fantastic, and now we're part of the family. It's and Nora ended up. She has a part. She is in Hungary.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
Nora Armani, the film festival director of Socially Relevant Film Festival in New York.
She played
Very
the
talented.
mean cafeteria server.
Yeah,
That's funny.
she showed up. She showed up like she looked like a prison guard.
Which was perfect.
He's German prison guard.
Yeah. And Jillie, tell me a little bit about you have been also doing works with Socially Relevant Film Festival. Tell us what your role has been.
I got asked to run the script competition and also to do the socially relevant script competition reading, which is a reading of the finalists for the script competition. And I read, I mean, for the last 3 years, we've found some amazing socially relevant scripts, and just really great stuff. So I hope they get made. Actually, one that happened this year, I gave to other people to read because I was already cast in it. Kill Switch by Jackie Powell, and which is a terrific thriller. So I didn't want to, have anything not be on the up and up. So I recruited. I mean, I'm not the only reader. There was like a couple of other readers, but I recruited like another so that there would be 3 other voices to give their opinions, because I didn't want to, be in any way not giving a completely unbiased, competition. But that's, I was going to say about upcoming projects, what's going on. That's like, and you were asking about what people do during this time, of COVID and quarantine. And I mean, there's 3 features and 1 web series that I'm in that are like, sort of on hold until everything can really happen again. But I've been casting some terrific things. There's a shot at the title, which used to be called The Fighting Wagners, which is a true story about Arlene Sparaco's like great grandparents and grandparents who were like the first openly Italian American boxer in America. Really cool script. And then Jackie's terrific thriller called Kill Switch. And then there's like Infiltrated is a really well-written crime, mafia crime thriller. That's see, all these thrillers all of a sudden are and that's written by Marvalee Pert, and we just did a proof of concept short for it that I'm going to get to see finally in August, and hopefully the full film will be made. And then Brandon Cole is an amazing writer as well, who he did Illuminata, which was directed by and starring John Turturro, and he did this wonderful, wonderful, quirky indie film, fantastic, called Pete Smalls is Dead, starring Peter Dinklage and Steve Buscemi and a whole bunch of other wonderful people. And he has this project, it's a series called The Rootless, and it's like a neo-noir thing that he cast me as like the casino hostess. So those are 4 things that are on hold, but meanwhile, there's a lot of, for actors, there's a little tiny, it's such a tragic time. There's so much tragedy. We read such terrible news every single day. But we, some casting directors have wanted in this quieter time to see actors that they're not as familiar with, or see actors who they are familiar with but haven't seen maybe in a few years. So there's been like a lot of online auditioning. Like I'm putting Thomas in use actually tonight. After we finish this, I have to get in a send an audition to make, and then I have a couple of days to send. So yeah.
Wow.
And we are looking to do our first narrative feature. So we're kind of like scooping around for scripts, toying, writing our own, but we're kind of like trying to develop, and hopefully by 21 or 22, when things are normal, that we can shoot it.
Yeah, I've also been getting people send scripts to me, so I've been like reading, but I'm also like, I'm 17 pages in on something brand new, because like I think I'd mentioned this other
writing.
Writing, 17 pages in, writing something.
I'm telling you, right.
Yeah. I don't know what happened.
But I put in my 2 cents because I know how people talk. The guys would say to Jillies always comes to me like, how would this person say this? And I come up with genius lines.
Yeah, it's going to be like written by the 2 of us. We also have I was saying that this summer, except it's been flying by, I was like, this would be the perfect time to finish. We have like 4 or 5 songs off of a new album that are like, have been laying there unfinished for the last 3 years because we've been very busy with so many other things. There's a couple of films that I did. The Incoherence, yay! That's right now can be seen. It's on Apple TV and iTunes. It was like
all the platforms.
Voodoo,
awesome.
Yeah, and it's been getting like, it was the top rated thing on iTunes or Apple for a number of weeks. I think it was iTunes.
Right.
And that's out, and Prince Harming is out, which is out on Amazon. Prince Harming by Marianne Hettinger. Oh, and The Incoherence is written by Jeff Auer, who also stars in it, along with Annette O'Toole and Amy Carlson and other fabulous people, and directed by Alex Emanuel, who is in Our Hungry, and Jared Barrell did the amazing direction. So I suggest, if people are looking for something to watch, The Incoherence is around, and Prince Harming by Marianne Hettinger is also like a dramedy that deals with women in violent relationships. So that's actually a socially relevant topic as well. So yeah, but I want to get to our album at some point this summer, because it's been 3 years. It's just, there's always so much to do.
The Incoherence is a film. How long?
It's a feature film.
It's a feature film.
Oh, okay, feature. Okay.
That Jill is.
I'm just acting in it.
Yeah. Oh, you're an actor. Okay.
I'm acting in it. Yeah.
Great. So I put it there. For some reason, Google doesn't like my spelling or your spelling. It has a red line underneath. Incoherence. Is it right spelling?
Incoherent.
INC. It's INCOH. Inco. Here. HER.
ENTS.
That should be it.
Yeah, that's it.
There's a red line underneath, but it's okay. Incoherence. All right, so people can check it out.
I know why. Probably because since it's the name of a band. It's a rock and roll dramedy, and Incoherence is the name of the band. So usually, spelling wise, you wouldn't say incoherence. You'd say someone is incoherent. That's why Google doesn't like it.
I see. I see. Yeah. With the S there, so they think it should be a plural in the front.
Yeah.
That's
Or
the
singular.
development algorithms.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, yeah, speaking of you guys working together, may I ask, how did you meet?
In a cafe, like the old school pickup thing.
The cafe in the East Village.
Oh,
Yeah. Should
Yeah.
I say? Should I say? Should I tell? I just walked. I walked in the door. No, I mean, I just saw him at the other end of the room,
Yeah.
and he was like
I was
laughing. He was with a bunch of
gorgeous.
people, and he was laughing at something. And I was like, oh my God, I want to meet him.
But since she is a woman, you know, she said she wanted to meet me,
Yeah.
but I went up to go to the restrooms,
Unisex.
and it was like unisex. So I was standing in line, and Jill came up behind me and stood in line with me and made me see her, and we had a little look exchange. And then when I went back to my spot, I was looking where she was sitting, and then I went up and talked to her. But so I thought I saw her first, but that's not how it works.
Well, I didn't make him see me. I just stood
Well, you
there
pointed-
and I looked at him. At one
Yeah,
point. I was very subtle.
I might have been too busy with my friends and not seeing you otherwise. You know? Anyway.
Well, that's actually you gotta like when there's something or someone you're interested in, you gotta go for it. You gotta make sure that you give every opportunity for it to happen, right?
Go for it.
Go for it.
Don't procrastinate. Get off your ass.
Yeah. So the rest is history. So now, just curious, I mean, can you tell us a little bit how you deal with each other in this difficult time? Like you always have to be together almost 24/7. Or are you always like that anyway? Because for some couples, it's been very difficult.
No, I mean, if I jump in, the last 2 years been so busy, and I've been on the road between touring with music and film festivals, like over 120 days, like around 120 days a year. And actually that aspect of being at home and working in the studio is really nice. I mean, I love being places. I don't miss the travel part, because airports are just always stressed because I have gear and I'm constantly dealing with, you know, regulations or whatever. Anyway, and that aspect is cool, and we know each other very well. We can be together and doing our own thing and leave each other alone, and for hours, and then we come together and have fun, you know. So it's really easy. There's no problem. And I've been going I have a band room that I share in the music building in Midtown Manhattan. So once a week, twice a week, I go there, and I can get away. And I mean, I'm by myself up there working on sounds and stuff. And that's my one getting away from home.
So he doesn't have to hear me cut you like going over lines and again and again, doing his own repetition thing.
Yeah. So tell me a little bit, you know, Jillies, many things I have not tried. One of them is to act. I have a feeling if I get trained, I probably won't be such a bad actress. But my question to you is, your normal, can you tell me a little bit of sort of your normal routine? Because I'm a musician, you know, when I practice, I have to play scale, and I have to play open strings. I have to play this. So as an actress, do you have a normal sort of a warming up? Like, do you have to sing? Do you have to warm up your vocal? Then how do you like read your script like the way you're going to deliver when you practice?
Well, yeah, as an actor, you know, you are your instrument, so you have to keep yourself in tune. And so that starts with physical warm-ups and like things like yoga stretches and just like stretching. Right now I'm really, really stiff and need a lot more, need massages, but I'm too afraid. And then there's also vocal warm-ups where that's part of a physical warm-up where you're, also loosening up your whole, mouth and jaw area. And then when you're working on a script, you just read it once for the sense of it, and then you read it again, and then you read it again and again and again, and then you start, you start exploring the character themselves, who they are within the story and what's going on, and you start making a backstory for the character, discovering what could have caused them to be behaving in this way. It's about their behavior and figuring out why. So psychology comes into it too, sleuthing out, what is going on with this person, and making for yourself, anything that isn't in the script itself, you make up whatever resonates really strongly with you, whatever will make you have emotional reactions to what you're, talking about. So you kind of, that's another thing that you work on, how, and you bring yourself to it also, how would you behave in this situation? I mean, I started acting young, and I was always interested in, my friends were going on to being interested in boys, while I was at 11 or 12 still interested in imagination games and playing this person or that person, or even younger, I remember playing that, we were cats and had an evil step cat mother or something, all sorts of different scenarios. We were monkeys, and an older brother was the evil, scientist. I've always loved to do that. But and right now there's there's an amazing writer-actor group that I'm involved with on Sunday. There's actually a couple of them. I have to get to the other one that's also on Sunday, and it's also amazing. But Ken Foreman, because of COVID, they started a different time. The second one, The Shelter, which is awesome people. They started at an earlier time, and because the group that I'm in, Ken Foreman's group, which is amazing with a lot of amazing people, is it kind of, they conflict now, but that's another way of keeping yourself, by doing cold readings. You keep yourself sharp, and you sometimes you'll get a page, and sometimes you'll have a chance to have read it half hour or hour ago, or even sometimes the writer will send it to you the night before, so you'll have a little time. But sometimes they'll be oh, can you do this? And you just it's so cold, but you just it's fun. You just go with what it says, and how, would be, you just go with it, just roll.
Yeah. Can you, I asked Thomas at the beginning, what's his background? Can you tell us a little bit about your upbringing and your background, please?
I grew up in suburbia, Long Island, with, and the city was a 40-minute drive, away. New York City, the city. See, that's people in Long Island. We refer to New York City as the city because that's, the city. And so I was exposed to Broadway and museums, and we would go to Chinatown and just, off Broadway. My parents were avid theater goers, so which is, that was awesome because I was enthralled. It was just so wonderful. And I remember I always loved to go into the city. I was in a summer art workshop, which was just really fun, from when I was in junior high, and it was a program that they did in the school, and a couple of times we would take trips, and we took trip into the museums as well, different museums in the city, and it was always so exciting. I just love New York City, the electricity and all that. And once I got interested in I did finally get interested in the other the male sex and boys, and then I just like in New York you could meet anyone in the world. That was the cool thing, all those cultures, and not just about meeting boys, but there's that's something that finding love is a crucial part of everyone's life, and usually, and it's so great to meet people from all over the world, and I think that the more that people are able to meet people outside of their own small community, it broadens you. It shows that people lose their prejudices. The people who have prejudices about other, and that was actually one thing about our first band, Love Alien. We were searching around for names with the word love in it, and then Love Alien popped up, and I was like, just because somebody is different doesn't mean they're not like a love being. So we thought, let's call ourselves Love Alien,
And it goes this far. You don't have to be friends, but just be civil to other people. I mean, this is really what I find living in the U.S. after growing up in Europe. I mean, Vienna was very close. There's like 40 minutes, and you're in two different other countries, 2 different languages. Back when I was a kid, different money, whatnot. So you're exposed to other cultures all the time. And what I find, the current political climate in the Midwest and the Middle America is because people are not exposed to other cultures, and they believe that Fox News crap, and they should just turn off the TV and go travel. I mean, New York or LA is a foreign country to some places in Middle America. I mean, anyway.
Sinclair Broadcasting also, not only Fox, but like some places I read that local anchor people were having to read this this propaganda bull, like lies, no facts in him, like stuff from that was Sinclair Broadcasting's thing, because they bought up all these small broadcasting companies stations around the country. They had I don't know how much percent, so I won't say, but a large percent. It's crazy.
And we live, look, what also the pandemic shows us, excuse me, sorry to cut in.
No.
We are a global society. Like a virus doesn't stop, that no wall will stop that virus. Walls are not the way to go. We are a global society. If you screw up this part, it's affecting the other side, and so forth. So stop thinking this whole nationalistic, I don't even understand this whole kind of categorized box thinking, because we all feel, we all bleed, we all get sick, we all get happy, and that's saying trickles down to how we treat the animals and the environment, the planet as a whole, because our environmental destruction is a direct, the pandemic is a direct result of the environmental destruction that's going on around the planet. So peace, love.
I mean, we are one. We are all one. We are all connected. That's actually.
And we live on planet Earth, not on planet USA.
Yeah. Can you talk about Legalize, and then we'll watch the trailer? Was it a trailer or the song?
It's a music video.
It's a music video.
Yeah. Oh, you want to talk about it, please?
Well, that's something that people of color have been so much more incarcerated for this herb, for partaking of this herb that is beneficial in many ways, and can't, like...
Talk about cannabis.
Cannabis, yeah. Sorry, just like I was, and my mother was you know, my mother was suffering with cancer, and I wanted to get her. I talked to her about getting the oil because it's supposed to help, and she was in stage 4, and
help with chemotherapy and dealing with.
And she wouldn't even consider it because it's illegal, and that's how she was raised, that you can't do something that's illegal. And now in New York it is legal, but in many places, medical only. But people who want to drink a scotch can drink a scotch, but a person who wants to smoke a joint in many places, or have a brownie that's mixed with herb, is not allowed and is in danger of going to jail for many years. And our jails, the private prisons, are overstuffed with all these people, nonviolent drug offenses, and it's sick. And so I wrote the lyrics, and Thomas wrote the great music, and I hope you enjoy it.
And as we know now, the whole push to criminalize marijuana, particularly came in the Nixon administration in order to disrupt the political dissent, Black Panther movement, whatnot. They made it a Category 1 drug offense, so they can disrupt these communities and rip families apart and put the leaders in jail for like ever. It was just had nothing to do with anything else but a control game, which is anyway.
So speaking of like justice, it's just there's no justice in criminalizing this herb, this weed, this medicinal thing that's used for medicine. And if someone's over 21, I mean, I tried to find it before I was I was curious about it before I was 21. But I say brains that are over 21, they should be allowed to, do what they like without being thrown in jail.
But it's not just legalizing marijuana. It's a whole mindset that goes along. It's legalizing marijuana, environmental justice, civil rights, gay rights, animal rights. That's all the same mindset. It's all that comes from the same place. And that's where we have to head towards as a global human society.
Rights, human rights.
Right, definitely. Also, Black Lives Matters. I'm also into that.
Yes, Black Lives Matter. Yeah. People should not be incarcerated. People should not be thrown down and
Yeah. So I'm gonna play that. Before I play that, I just want to thank everybody who is our audience watching. Please, Jillie and Thomas's biography and information and all the social media links is down below at the YouTube. And I have been hosting the so-called talk show online since March 27. You are the number 43 episode today.
Oh, wow.
It's been, more than 40 times.
Thank you so much for having us, Ching. It's really...
Thank you for coming. Thank you for talking to us. And please consider subscribing YouTube channel, my YouTube channel. And Thomas, you have a YouTube channel too, right?
Yeah, it's our it's Thomas Simon MSF. We have a bunch of music videos.
Yeah.
We have also for production, Endorphin Records is our production company. We have a Vimeo channel as well. And, anyway.
Yeah. Okay. So Thomas's channel is a Thomas Simon MSF. That's your name. Yeah. Okay. So I'm going to play screen shots. Let's see. Legalize.
So we say goodbye, huh? Goodbye.
No, we say goodbye afterwards.
Afterwards, okay.
Yeah. Bravo.
Thank you. And that was with the fabulous Keith Golden on bass and Alex Alexander on drums. And justice for Breonna Taylor, justice for George Floyd, justice for Elijah McClain, and for so many others. This is a time. This is this can be a turning point where
it has to be. I mean, we can't go on like this for. I mean, the last 3 years has been insane. I mean, it's just the insanity that. And the speed of it, the onslaught. These guys are just fast forward us. It's anyway.
So vote early.
Please,
vote early. Everybody, vote early.
Request your ballots and get it in early.
Your mail-in. But that's what I meant. No, I meant when I said vote early, I meant mail-in ballot, of course.
And I saw Trevor Noah. Has. There's you can if you have time, go work as a poll worker. Like you can volunteer, or it's even a job, I forget. But go out and man the polls, because it's really important that the polls the staff, and also I'm sure the Republicans going to pull some kind of stunt trying to prevent people from voting. So
we got to combat but the white supremacists who think they can march in with guns and intimidate people from voting. We're here to say no, they can't, and that the Democrats need to do something to counter the threat of people trying to intimidate and bully and prevent us all from exercising our right to vote, our democratic right to vote.
It's called Power the Polls. Just Google it, Power the Polls, and you see where to go and what to do, and you can read about how to get involved. Power the Polls.
How to spell POWER, the altogether, Power the
Polls, yes.
POLLS.
POLS? Really? Oh. Okay.
POLLS.
Two L's.
Sorry. Okay, I'm just spelling out. Yeah.
Yeah.
Here we go.
Thank you, Ching, for inviting us for this. Thank you so much. This is lovely.
It was nice. Yeah, we will do it again. Maybe sometimes later. Yeah. So it's so wonderful to see your craft, hear your music, get to know you a little bit better, because I always want to know you, but it seems like year after year we just met at the Socially Relevant Festival. Yeah, we didn't really have an in-depth conversation, so this is a really great opportunity for me.
But you find your son and your husband, everybody's good and doing well?
Yeah, everybody is okay. It's we're at least healthy physically. I don't know about mentally.
That's all. Nobody's sane.
But stay safe, everyone. Stay safe.
Stay safe.
And reach out. If people who are not doing so well, because there's a lot of loneliness, I think, during this time of COVID, from what I hear, and reach out. You don't realize how much support you might have if you don't try.
Pick up the phone, make a phone call.
Yeah.
Text.
Yeah, that's true.
I'm not the biggest Skype, Zoom, FaceTime person, but I like to talk on the phone.
Yeah. And for a while, I was giving myself a task. Say I need to video talk with someone, like one person a day. During the because when you video talk to someone, you cannot look too shitty, right?
Yeah, no. You
have to
put on pants and a shirt.
I have to take a shower for you.
I gotta make sure nothing's showing.
But you seem to always look fabulous, Ching.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah.
So, but anyway, so this sort of my sort of intervention, talking with you and with many people, actually has been really positive thing for me personally.
Mhm.
That I get to study my guest, and then it gives me some purpose, so every Monday, Wednesday I do that, and it keeps me kind of out of trouble.
Yeah.
So thank you so much for talking to me and my guests.
Absolutely. Have
Okay,
a great
well,
week, everybody.
yeah,
All
Peace.
best, everyone. Peace. Stay
Yeah.
safe.
peace. Yeah. Okay, I'm gonna end the broadcast. Thank you so much. Bye now.